Welcome everyone to episode number 6 of the Ballercast, the first and best NBA Live Ultimate Team podcast on the web. I've got my co-host with me, Tyler.
Hey, what's up? Hey.
And today we're going to talk about the finals and the cards that came out, and also our opinions on the stats of these cards. There's a lot of questionable things, but I think overall pretty good release of cards, some great overall ratings, but I think there's a lot to discuss and some stuff to jump into. So Tyler, what do you think we should do first, Raptors or Warriors?
Well, we'll go with the champions in the Raptors. That was a good finals win. So we'll start with them right now.
Perfect.
Who
do you want to start with?
Right. So we'll go with point guard Kyle Lowry here, 96 overall. It's the same. It's about the same as Dame Lillard, just 2 inches shorter, but he's got better defense than him. He's got 91 defense. He's got 93 speed. Fast for like a 33-year-old Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, I mean,
91,
I think the height
mid-range.
plays an important part with the speed as well. I think the smaller you are, the faster you should be, just to make up for that lack in height. I think it's important.
93 pointer, 93 dribbling. The post rebounding don't really matter that much.
No, not at all. I think he's a great card. I think the dribbling I think the finishing should be a little bit higher. Kyle Lowry is a very underrated finisher and very aggressive, as most of you saw in the away games in the finals.
Yeah, well, in Game 6, he was finishing a lot of those tough ones, the high layups over the defenders.
I think a lot of people are going to turn away from this card because his finishing is so low, and because he's such a short player, you need that high finishing to compensate for the height. If an Allen Iverson was released, you'd want like a 95 plus finishing to make up for him being 6 foot. So I think the same principle kind of needs to apply here. There should have been at least 92 plus finishing, because this card's pretty useless besides shooting with that finishing stat.
He's not the greatest finisher, but he can finish a bit.
I mean, he can finish, but as soon as you get a good contest, as soon as you get a good contest, he's done for.
Yeah, but besides the finishing, it's a really good all-round card. I've already seen this card go for like 300 to 400k already on PS4, so getting him for that price range is definitely a good price to get him, I think.
I still think he's not that great of a card. For a 96 overall backcourt shooter, 91 mid-range and 93 pointer we all saw him at the start of Game 6. I mean, come on. I think this guy deserves a bit more shooting. He didn't really get much finishing, so he doesn't really have that many well-rounded stats, and it goes off with the rebounding and the defense. I think his main stat should have been pushed up a little bit higher.
Yeah, I mean, I do like him better than the Chris Paul, though. They're about the same height. Chris Paul 6 foot and Kyle Lowry 6'1", I think he is.
Yeah, well, this card's got better all-round stats, I think.
Yeah. So in terms of 96 point guards, this is definitely the way to go, because especially with Chris Paul being overpriced, it seems like Chris Paul, I've only seen him up for like 500k plus.
Kyle Lowry got done dirty. Chris Paul got done dirty with his defense, and fortunately, Kyle Lowry got a great defensive rating. So I think Kyle Lowry is a very balanced two-way player. Yeah, Chris Paul's a better defender, but Kyle Lowry won the NBA Finals, so I can understand them giving him a great stat. He did have some good plays, so I think it's a pretty well-rounded card. Honestly, looking at the stats, it looks to me like a 92, 93 overall card.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I like this card quite a bit.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad card, but looking purely at the stats, I can't correlate how this is a 96 overall. If we average out the stats, the average is definitely not a 96 overall.
Yeah, I guess.
So there's not one stat over 93, and the card's a 96?
Yeah, I would have liked if there was one. He's got 93 speed though, so that's
It is
helpful.
great, but there's still no stat that I think is like, oh my god, this card is definitely a 96 overall. You know, if I was
Yeah.
just playing this and I didn't see the rating, I'd think it was like a 92, 93 overall card.
Well, I think enough for that card right now. We'll go with Serge Ibaka now, 92
Sergi
overall.
Blaka.
Yes. Was blocking everything in the finals. Had like a game of 7 blocks, 6 blocks. It was
Game 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, game 4. I think. Yeah, it
he
was.
had great shooting, great rebounding, great offensive rebounding as well.
Yeah. His rebounding's at 86. He's got 87 mid.
How?
80
Okay,
speed.
No. How is a guy known for rebounding and defense stuck with an 86 rebounding and a 90 defense? Come on. I mean,
He's got 88 post. I mean, that makes sense. But
yeah, he's not a post. Like, he has some good post hooks here and there and some good layups. But an 86 rebounding, come on. Kawhi Leonard has a better rebounding.
Yeah, but it is cool. It's like 98, 92. There's a difference between that.
But
I know
still,
it's a small forward, but
this is what Serge Ibaka's known for. You know, he's not a consistent offensive guy, but he's known to be that defender and rebounder, the anchor for the team, and he's just been done dirty here.
I mean, with the finishing at 92, you'd think the rebound would be at that level as well.
At least. I mean, he's not especially he's gotten older. He's not like he was in the Thunder. I mean, he's gotten older. He doesn't throw down yams like he did before. So, I mean, I think those stats are mixed around.
He's got 87 mid, 84 3-pointer, 84 3-pointers. That's a good rating for him. Because he can shoot a bit.
He's not like a prolific shooter, but I mean, if he gets hot, like we saw in Game 4, if he gets hot, he can shoot the mid-range. He can shoot pull-up mid-ranges. He can shoot threes. So he's not like a consistent guy, but if you get him hot and play with him right, he will hit it.
He's got 90. No, he's not. He's got 86 speeds.
That's great.
Card, but yeah, that's good. Yeah,
that
really
is
good.
That is great. He is very, very athletic. So I think that's accurate.
Yeah. So overall, this is a good, decent card to get.
I think it's a great card. I mean, look, honestly, if his rebounding was just at a 90, I mean, he'd be one of the best power forwards in the game, best backup power forward in the game. So he's a great card, extremely well-rounded, and see, these are 92 overall stats and maybe even 93. So I think this card has been made pretty much perfect.
Well, I think they maybe should have made this a 93 along with this next player in Marc Gasol.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I think Gasol, Serge Ibaka had a lot more impactful finals than Gasol. And just the first stat that kills me with Gasol is the 80 rebounding. I mean, what is the point of having a 7-foot center who can't rebound?
Yeah, well, I've seen a lot of centers in this game, even like the most high-rated centers in the game, like Jokic and Embiid, and they only have 80. Like Jokic only has 84 rebounding. None of these centers have over 90 rebound. I think the highest rebound for a center is 94 season stars DeAndre Jordan that has 89 rebounding. Like they've done the centers dirty this year on rebounding.
I think that there's a rebounding is pretty imbalanced in this game, as we discussed in our last podcast, and I think this may be a way to kind of counteract that. Making the big, tall players a little bit worse at rebounding may make the rebounding in the game easier and more consistent. But in saying that, that shouldn't really come into effect. I mean, his defensive rating's perfect. His post rating's perfect. His 3-point and mid-range are perfect. He's finishing a little bit too high. In my opinion, he's not aggressive. He's more of a finesse, grit and grind player. The rebounding is a bit ridiculous. I mean, when you've got Pascal Siakam and Kawhi Leonard with 6 to 8 points higher than him, I know Gasol isn't as amazing as he was before, but I still think he's a great, impactful guy on the rebounds.
Well, yeah, it was only like 6 years ago that he was Defensive Player of the Year. I know that was 6 years ago, but since then he's still been consistent.
He was the best center in the NBA at one point. I mean, I know he's out of his prime, but
yeah, with 92 finishing is a bit high.
Yeah, I think him and his brother were one and the same. They're just not the most athletic guys out there. They're finesse players. They use skills rather than brute force. I mean, that's probably why Gasol's had such a great career at 7 foot tall and not many injuries. But I think the finishing was a bit high. But look, the finishing stat also impacts layups, and it'd be good to have a 7 foot guy be really good at layups. So there's, I can understand it a little bit, but 92 is a bit high in my opinion.
Definitely. Probably the most successful brother duo in the NBA history, with the stuff they've accomplished.
100%.
Yeah, Pau Gasol is a great, passer as a big man as well. He's probably one of the best. And like you said, they're finessed in their games are finessed.
I think that's why they have longer careers. Centers like Dwight Howard, who relied on their athleticism, and Shaq couldn't really transition late in their career because they never developed that game and just relied, solely on their strength. So I think Gasol, he's still an impactful center on any NBA team for sure. I think this card's pretty great. I think if they lowered the finishing stat to like an 85 and upgraded the rebound to like an 87, I think he'd be pretty perfect.
Yeah. Well, next, now we move on to the two most high-rated cards now. 97, 97 and 98. First off, 97, Pascal Siakam, Spicy P here in the building. 90 speed. I mean, wow, that just jumped out at me. First off,
that's 90. That's crazy. He is very, very athletic.
He does dribble the ball up sometimes in games as well.
He is, and his dribble rating makes sense. He is like a taller, he's a ball savvy power forward, and I mean he's got one of the most well-rounded games I've ever seen in a power forward. I mean, you see him doing absolutely everything on the floor. I have no idea where this came from. I mean, it just literally
has to be. Most improved, doesn't he?
Oh, I think so. I mean, who else can they give it to? Giannis again?
Well, at the start it was Zach LaVine, but I don't think
no way
people saw Siakam doing this. From where Siakam was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, Zach LaVine was always a great
minutes. player. Yeah, he just at the start of last season he had the injuries, but this season he's averaged 20 points. Zach LaVine.
It's not most improved. If there was an award for saying best injury comeback, go to Zach LaVine. But Zach LaVine was already good before he got injured and was good again once he got his own team. I think Siakam is the undisputed most improved. If it goes any other way, I mean, the only thing I could say is that people justify a lot of stupid things only including regular season. Kawhi Leonard probably won't even win MVP, and he should.
No, he won't.
I mean, they'll probably give it to Harden or some crap who couldn't even carry their teams into the finals or conference finals.
But I mean, you don't judge it based on how far they carried it in. Though,
it should be, because if you're the most valuable player, you're the most valuable person to your team, and your team's success is directly correlated to winning championships or progressing in the playoffs.
That's why some people judge it on how they do postseason and the regular season. When they used to do it. Just after the regular season and before someone's home game or something, I remember Curry and LeBron receiving their awards at the stadium and all that.
No, that was only a few years ago,
Yeah,
and that was the best.
yeah,
But yeah, I think I think it's such a morale boost as well to your team receiving the MVP in your stadium or whatever. But look, whatever. I really am not a big fan of the NBA awards, but I think this Pascal Siakam probably has to be the best power forward in the game. I mean, I
yeah.
don't see one
Yeah.
bad stat on this card. I
Yeah,
don't.
I mean, 82 dribbling for a power forward. He's got
Incredible.
94 finishing. That's incredible. 84 three, can shoot the three bit as well.
Mhm.
94 post, 86 rebounding, and he's got 91 defense, which is one of the best in the game for a power forward.
I mean, just like by itself, if you just took into the defensive stat and the speed, this would be one of the best power forwards in the game. On top of that, you've got all these other crazy stats. I mean, it's a no-brainer to pick up this card if you can. No-brainer.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, well, I've already picked up this card.
Love
In
it.
Siakam. And now the next card, I've
The
definitely
king.
picked up.
The
I've definitely
king.
picked up. I mean, I had to, even
Mate,
if it
Kawhi
costs
not.
1.5. Yeah, why not? Why not pick this up for 1.5 million? I don't care.
I
It's the
told
best
you
play
this
in the
card was
game, I
coming.
reckon.
I told you this card was coming and to save up for him. And I was right. This card, there's literally nothing wrong with this card. 90 speed, which is good because Kawhi really isn't that smart. I mean, sorry, fast. He isn't.
Oh God, Oscar.
He isn't
smart. He is like one of the smartest.
He isn't like the fastest
Yeah.
guy. Like you've seen him playing, he kind of paces himself and thinks when he doesn't just sprint down the floor. So that's cool. Mid range
Yeah.
is perfect.
Yeah, 95.
Finishing's a bit high, but he does make bloody 50 and ones a game. You've also got 3-point rating. I mean, his a bit high again, but you can't
But it's improved
argue.
this season though.
You can't argue with the stats because he does hit constant clutch, incredible shots, 3-pointers, mid-range, fadeaways, everything. I think the worst stat on this card is his post, and I think that should at least be a 90. This guy can move around the post like MJ and Kobe. If you really analyze his game,
Jeez.
I think have you not seen him play in the post? He's incredible in the post. He doesn't use it all the time, and I think besides from that, this card is crazy. 98 defense.
I know. I know, that's incredible. Like, oh no, I mean, you just won't get past this, I guess. Like, you shouldn't, at least.
I mean, you could run this card 1 through 5. I mean, if I could take a full team of 5 small forward, Kawhi Leonards, I would.
Well, I run this at shooting guard.
Yeah, I mean, at shooting guard, this would legit be unfair. No one could get around this guy. So, dude, I can't even describe how good this card is, man.
I know, yeah. Like, I mean, this is why I copped it. Like, this is such a good card, best card in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, hands down, man. I mean, the only thing I think he deserved the 99 overall rating. Finals MVP. He was the best player in the whole finals. Should have got the 99 rating, even if he didn't make any of the stats higher, just to acknowledge what this guy has done. But besides from that, best card in the game. You could run this guy at point guard. I mean, you could do everything with this guy. He could play 1 through 4 easily. He's got better rebounding than Gasol and Ibaka. So, I mean, he's just so amazing.
Yeah, I know. Incredible card.
This is the best design card I think they've had all playoffs. I've not seen a card more accurate and acknowledging of how good a player has been throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. This is one that if you see for 1.2 or 1.5 million, I think you
pull that trigger.
Consider buying it, definitely. Grab your claws around that card. See what I did there? No, that's pretty bad right there. But
it was pretty bad. I still like it.
But look, I'm sorry to break it to you, but what you said was the Kobe and Jordan post game. I just don't think that's accurate. I get he's a good post player, but that's just not.
I mean, look, what I I I encourage you to go and watch some post highlights of Kawhi Leonard.
I do.
Look, I mean, literally, there's side by side comparisons of Kobe, MJ, and Kawhi all playing in the post. I mean, I'm not saying he's as good as they are in the post. I'm saying
that's what I'm saying. He's not as good as
he's got the finesse like them. He sets himself up like that, and he can work the post like they can. Not as well as they can, but he can work it like they can. He can get open. He can shoot over some of the best defensive players in the league. If anyone's seen that highlight where he absolutely destroys Paul George, one of the best defenders in the NBA, in the post. I mean,
and there's been like highlights where he's destroyed Giannis like 2 back-to-back games in the conference finals.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, this guy has got an amazing post game, and I think he should have been a little bit higher. But then again, if you make any stat on this card higher, I mean, he could literally beat any team just by himself.
Yeah, I mean,
incredible card. Incredible.
Enough said. I think
I can't say any more about this guy. He's just so great.
I think we've gone over this card a lot already.
Yeah. And we're moving on to the we can't call them the Dubs, so let's call them the Warriors.
Yes.
That was a little pun there. You like that one?
Yeah, I mean mine was worse, so I grant you that.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna write that on my resume. Better pun than Tyler.
Yes. Well, we'll start with the worst one in the entire out of all 10 cards for both teams. Got Andre Iguodala. Andre Iguodala, 91 overall. I mean, I've seen a couple people pull this. It seems
it'd be heartbreaking.
Yeah, a lot of people I've seen haven't pulled the greatest players, but I've seen a couple pull the Durants. I've seen a couple pull Curry, at least that I know of, the ones that I follow. So, but this Andre Iguodala, it's all rounded, but it's not great.
Look, I just don't think there's
defense.
The only thing going for this card is the 90 defense. I mean, he's got great dribbling. So, I mean, if you want a ball-savvy 2 guard, pick this guy up. But, I mean, I was watching this guy in the finals. He was hitting a good amount of 3-pointers, and they weren't flukes.
Yeah, he was hitting them like he's never hit them before.
I mean, I think if this card had a 93-point rating and a 90 defense rating, he would be great to have as like a bench shooting guard. Bring him on the floor, 3-and-D, lock him up. But they just, I mean, there's just no reason to buy this card. He's got the stats of an 87, 88 card with good defense.
Unless you're on like a good budget, like a really good budget.
Yeah, unless the money's tight, I couldn't justify buying this card at all.
Yeah, but 84 3-pointer could be much higher.
Could be worse as well.
89 finishing, 85 mid, 81 rebounding, 84 post.
There's just no stat that makes me want to buy this card.
I mean, 88 speed's good for Iguodala. Like,
that's unrealistic.
But I mean, I don't like this card. I don't know if many people do, but
no. I mean, look, he made it all the way to the finals. I'd hope that they would have given him like a banging card. It might be the last time he ever makes it to the finals. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. But look, at least he's a decent card if you're running a kind of budget lineup.
Yeah. Well, next up, we'll go to Draymond Green, 93 overall. Shrek. Yeah, I've heard that before.
I mean,
I thought that was getting old. So.
Oh no, it never gets old. It's just so good. Oh man, I'll never forget that.
Well, onto the stats, and again, it's like the Iguodala, great defense. I mean, he's got great finishing, but besides from that, I mean, a freaking 75 3-pointer.
I literally just cringed at that stat.
Good lord, I mean, 74 dribbling.
He's legit like the backup point guard for the Warriors.
Yeah,
what
he's played point
hell?
guard for them. Like 74. If you're giving 82 dribbling to Siakam, who dribbles the ball up quite a bit, then you're supposed to be giving Draymond like a freaking 84 defense.
Nah, look, this
84
card
dribbling or
is
something.
just straight up wrong and pretty disrespectful to Draymond and what he's done. The mid range, the 3-pointer completely inaccurate. He was hitting a lot of 3-point shots in the finals, and look, he was making them pay, which I was surprised with as well. They left him open intentionally. Dribbling is legit completely wrong. Should be at least a 90, because he's the 1-2 punch with Curry. He distributes the ball when Curry's trying to get open off back screens and backdoor cuts. Rebounding done dirty as well. Defense not even good enough for Draymond as well. Multiple time. What was it, the 2-time depoy?
No, just one.
Just once. I thought he won it twice, but
2 years ago.
Yeah, multiple defensive, all defensive team. Draymond Green with the depoy trophy. I mean, come on.
84 speed, 77 mid, which is just god awful for just like this late in the game. Like
he's literally unusable.
Yeah.
What can you use him for? To do a layup and maybe play defense?
I mean, I like him that he's got the defense, but like best defense in the game for power forward, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. But like, if you have, say, Siakam now, like
game over.
Actually, no. A better example is probably Paul Millsap. Like he's got a 91 defense, and he's a 95 card. Only 2 ratings higher than Draymond, yet he can do so much other things. The Paul Millsap, got high and everything. So
yeah, and Paul Millsap's like the budget defensive version of Draymond, but a better offensive version of Draymond. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this card, I wouldn't buy this. I'd run away from this card if I was playing Ultimate Team. I mean, look, if you want to put him in like when there's a game-winning shot on the line in Ultimate Team, yeah, maybe. Besides from that, literally, he probably won't grab any rebounds. Will play average defense for his height, because you have to take into account how small he is for the power forward position. Can't shoot. Will probably get the ball stolen from him a lot. I mean, you literally can't do anything with the card. I mean, you can tell me what he can do besides finish the ball. I mean, and then getting the ball to him in the post. He's small to catch the ball, small to finish.
I mean, I don't know much anything else to say good about this card, but I mean, if you can, I don't know, maybe. I mean, what would you recommend a price for him? Like
$5K? He's literally. I'm not even joking. He can't do anything, man. I mean, I would quick sell this card. It's probably the worst designed card out of the whole. This is the worst card. Andre Iguodala is 100 times better than this Draymond Green, and you can run Iggy at power forward even. He's quite tall. So I mean, I wouldn't buy this card if I was a player. I mean, people who are fans of Draymond Green might buy this card, but if you're anyone who's a fan of Ultimate Team, just don't buy this card.
Yeah, there are better power forwards out there.
There are better 85 overall power forwards, man. Like, there's so many better players in the power forward position than this, and the fact that he's a 93s, I mean, I could maybe rate him like an 84.
Well, if anybody's used the 86 Josh Smith, it's basically similar. So you.
I know, yeah. I've used some great power forwards, when I was, working my way up to a good team, and I can guarantee you that 85, 86, 87 rated cards will play better than this, or just the same.
Well, next up, we've got Klay Thompson here at 96 overall. I've been really wanting another Clay for a couple of months here. His 92 is really good. Like
Yeah,
Clay cards in
fan
this game are
favorite.
really good. He got a really good release in this game, in my opinion. And this card is even better. 96 mid range. Like
Woo!
what? That's like
I mean,
godly.
you've seen his off dribble game. I mean, this man can hit some shots. He's one of the best off ball players in the league. Probably the best, and the best catch and shoot player. I think the thing is with this Clay, it's just the defense is a letdown to me, man.
Yeah. Well, I think earlier in one of our podcasts we discussed that I wanted Clay with a high defense in 82, and technically we got it, but I would have maybe liked a 91 defense, because
Yeah.
he made all defensive team this year, and what was it, second team? Yeah, second team. He made all defensive team, and 89's good, but like that's on the same level as Curry and Lillard, like for defense, and he's
Oh
only
my god.
one
Ooh.
rating less than Dame Lillard, and he's got the same defense. Like we've talked a number of times that some of these ratings don't make sense, but
No. This
I think,
is the worst.
yeah,
I think his defense is appalling. Should be at least a 92. Best two-way shooting guard in the league. His dribbling is too high. I think some of those dribbling stats should go into his 78 post. I mean, he can operate the post, efficiently. I think he's pretty good in the post. And that finishing
not
should.
fantastic
I
though.
mean, he could easily be an 80, 84, 85. His dribbling shouldn't be an 87, and his finishing
post,
shouldn't
not
be a
really,
91.
though. I don't think the post is great with 78.
I mean, his finishing shouldn't be a 91. That's a bit
That
too
kind
high.
of, maybe give him an 80 post. I don't know. Like it doesn't. It kind of makes sense this one because he's not known for that. Got to look at his game there.
I know, but he can work the post. I mean, he's not. He doesn't do a lot of his work with the ball in his hands. So you can. I have seen him hit it, but he doesn't do it all the time.
Well, regardless, 95 3-point and 91 finishing.
Yeah.
He's got. That's pretty much all the stats. I think it is the best shooting guard in the game. I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great speed for Clay. He's not the quickest.
Yeah, this is a really good card. So now we go on to the two monsters again. I think, because I know you want to discuss this KD, but we'll save that to the end,
Yes,
I reckon.
sir. All right, you take this.
Yes, we'll go with Steph Curry here, best point guard in the game, hands down, 98. Well, maybe not hands down, but it's really good. I love this Steph Curry.
The 89 defense by itself makes him the best point guard in the game. We all know all of his stats are crazy. All he needed was a good defensive stat, and he's got it.
Oh, yeah. What's he gone up by, 17 off his highest rated card or something?
17 or I thought either he had a 79
he had a 70,
or a 72.
Yeah, I think it might have been 72.
Yeah, either 79
if I'm not
or
mistaken, on his All-Star. Yeah, but still, regardless, that's like a big jump.
Huge.
Yeah, I know. It's really good, his defense. What's really good as well is his 96 3-pointer. I would have maybe liked it like a 98 3-pointer. If they could give Kawhi 98 defense, they could maybe give Steph Curry 96 3-pointer, but I'm still satisfied with this 97 mid. Oh, I would have liked it to be the other way around with the 3-pointer mid range.
Yeah,
but
I feel you.
I'm fine with that.
I think everyone would have wanted that.
Yeah, 90 speed. What else he's got? He's got 91 dribbling, post rebound. Don't really matter that much.
The most ridiculous stat's the 93 finishing. What? I mean, he's got some finesse around the basket, but 93 finishing. Come on. I mean, he's a 6'3", small. He's not strong enough. He's not prolific at finishing. I mean, it should have been like maybe in 87 to 89. I think 93 is way too generous.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked it, but they are ending the cards off here with like boosted stats. So
yeah, well, some of them anyway.
And had a look, and it is 73 defense, his highest rated card before this, so that's a huge jump. So, well, everything about this card is really good. The thing I like the most about this, apart from the 3-pointer and defense, is, I mean, his shot is really quick in this game. It's really good. Like, I can green it the most. He can shoot from furthest away. I mean, obviously, because it's Steph Curry. I mean, I like this card a lot. Like, I have him. I bought him. So,
mate, stop showing off your stacked my team. I mean, ultimate team. Like, making me jealous over here.
Okay. But I mean, I had to cop these. So.
He's a must cop card. I mean, with that finishing stat, and the defense, all of his weaknesses are gone. And I think in my last podcast, or the podcast before, I emphasized how much Steph Curry needed a defensive boost and how actually impactful he is on the defensive end. So, thank you, our Ultimate Team dev team. I think this is a pretty good move.
Yeah. Now we'll move on to KD right now. Now before you go on your mini rant that you kind of want to go on to about him actually getting the card, just quickly go over these. Well, not quickly, because this is a really good card. Like 92 speed, I mean 96 mid range, 97 finishing, like 94 3-pointer, 86 dribbling is good, 90 post, 83 rebounding, and 87 defense. This is a really good all-rounded card. This is another must-cop. I mean, if you want Kawhi over KD, that makes sense, but also get this card if you have the space as well.
You could run him at power forward quite easily.
Yeah, because he is 6'11" as well, like the Giannis. Like Giannis, you can run him at power forward, so that's a good move.
Yep.
So let's go on to your KD.
It's not a rant. It's legit logical. These playoff cards are meant to reward the best players from the playoff series. Durant missed the Blazers series.
One game of the...
And he played one game of the... Not even. He played 10 minutes or less game time of the finals. He wasn't much of a muchness in the first two rounds either. I think...
Yeah, he was. He scored like 50 points one of those games.
He's on the best team in the NBA. Of course he's going to score 50 points. He literally just... How can you guard 5 All-Stars? I mean, with a first-round playoff seed, you know what I mean? So, I think this Durant shouldn't have been here. He didn't play in the finals. I hope he gets better soon, but these cards should have reflected the best players from the finals. And Durant wasn't one of the best players from the finals. He had a good couple shots, and that's about it.
I mean, the only saving grace for this card to make sense is that it says playoffs underneath it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, the first two rounds, I mean, the Warriors literally walked through. So, I mean, the real...
First 3 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. So the real test would have been the finals, and he didn't play. Didn't have Kawhi marking him anyways when he did play. That's why he went off a little bit at the start of the game. So I think this Durant's undeserving. I mean, he's had some great cards already. I know there's no one else to give it to on the Warriors, but I just don't... He wasn't...
Maybe like DeMarcus, I don't know.
Yeah, he at least DeMarcus played, man. I think Durant wasn't the second best player on the team. Clay should have got the 97. He was huge in some games, and carried the offense when Steph Curry couldn't. So I think if we're talking about more impactful and finals and impact on a team, it was Clay and Steph carrying the whole Warriors.
Oh yeah, Clay was definitely second most important and best player in the finals.
100%. So he should have got the 97. Durant, maybe 96. I mean, he just shouldn't have been given the second best card when he wasn't the second best player. So that's just my humble opinion. I mean, look, you could have, if Live Ultimate Team decides to release more content post playoffs, give Durant a 97, 98 promo card. But just based off this series and the series before, I think Clay should have been the better rated card and maybe could have brought in a great Boogie Cousins or something. He doesn't have a great card, and he'd be a insanely good offensive big man to have on your team.
Oh yeah, I think by my knowledge, I think DeMarcus only has like a current or like one of those 84 basic cards, those gold ones.
Yeah, I think it would have been better to have someone who hasn't had an all-star card, hasn't had this, hasn't had that. I think it would have been nice to have DeMarcus represented. And he did have some great plays in the finals. I know he was a little bit injured, but he still played great offensively and couldn't really be stopped for some of the plays. And that definitely had more of an impact than Durant did.
Yeah. Look, the bright side is that it's in the game, and some people want it, like most people want it.
Oh, everyone wants a KD card because he's always broken in any basketball game. It's just, just sucks that Boogie doesn't get a card. He didn't play a lot of the season. He finally puts up some decent effort in the finals and doesn't even get recognized.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. Boogie should have gotten a spot. He's I know a lot of people don't like him and, whatever, call him weak for joining the Warriors, but it's literally what KD did 3 seasons ago. So, I don't know, man.
Well, before we end off on these cards here, I think a couple questions for you I might put to you.
Yes, sir.
I said this on Twitter earlier today.
I think was it a poll?
Yes.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes. So, would you rather have 98 Steph or 98 Kawhi in your lineup?
98 Kawhi, hands down.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, Steph is a great card. His height and his strength. I know they're not. I know, and shooting in this game is a lot harder to me than playing in the post, finishing, defense. So that's just my opinion.
Especially if that patch where you get the shot contest.
Oh, 100%. So I think having a stud defender with a great finisher and everything else and good speed is more important to me than a point guard who can shoot.
Yeah, and a dunking small forward as well.
100%.
Curry can't really dunk unless he's wide open.
With his finishing stats now at 93, he probably could dunk, but it's not realistic.
Yeah, he dunks sometimes for me, but not contested like Kawhi and all these other.
My big boy Kawhi would do, man.
Yeah.
I can just imagine if I had that card.
And second and final one, would you rather have 97 Giannis or 97 KD? Both same height, similar stats. What would you rather have?
Giannis.
Okay.
More athletic, better rebounder, better finisher. And I normally only shoot with my point guard and shooting guard. A small forward's really a position I don't shoot with much, and that's probably why you run Kawhi at the shooting guard. It's just I think it's not a position where I need shooting. I need someone who can play defense down low, who can mark 1 through 5, who can sprint down the court, and that man to me is Giannis. People say definitely. Durant's a great defender, but he's not. He's just tall and got a big wingspan. Giannis actually works hard on the defensive end, hustles, and doesn't just rely on his scoring. So I think Giannis is working on his shooting and his mid-range. I mean, he can hit it now, baby. I mean, wait till this off-season's over, and you'll see a completely different player, I think, and it will shock the NBA.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's already stamped himself as top 3 MVP candidate. He might probably will.
Let's look past the MVP candidate because honestly means nothing. People put Harden in there every year, and year after year he just disappoints me. So I think he is top. I'd say top 5 player in the NBA.
Yeah.
Top 5 for sure.
We'll be debating about it all day if we keep this up. So
yeah, I think he's top 5 player. I don't think I'd put KD in the top 5. Definitely not. He's injured. He's not even playing next year. So I think actually scrap that. I think Giannis is top 3. Not LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis.
Yeah.
I mean, Clay's out, KD's out. I mean, not in any order. I'm just saying, like they're the 3.
Yeah.
They're the 3. They're going to be the head, especially with Anthony Monobrow Davis heading over to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yes, well, as a Lakers fan, I am glad about that. So I'm glad I heard the news yesterday. Yes, I am, but I'm not happy that we gave away the 4th pick.
Yeah, that was a bit stupid. I think, yeah, but like honestly, the only person who holds any assets in Lonzo Ball's LeVar Ball. So I understand you didn't really have that many options. So I mean, to get the best power forward in the league, you got to sacrifice some big things, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we kept Kuz. I'm glad they kept Kuzma as well.
Kuz is a huge part. I think great ball handling, great rebounding, great shooting. I think he's a very, very important part to the Lakers, more so than any person that got traded away. Ingram was a bust. I don't think Lonzo did anything besides have his dad talk crap the whole time. And
his passing is still like probably his only.
Yeah, his passing and his rebounding are his only assets. And I mean, when you've got AD and LeBron and Kuzma to rebound, who needs a rebounding point guard?
I mean, I like the trade, like with the LeBron at the 3, like Kuzma at the 4, AD at the 5. That'd be a good
LeBron at the 1, Kuz at the 3, AD at the 4, Boogie at the 5.
Oh,
Clay at the 2.
No.
Yeah, I think the Lakers. I think the Lakers are going to come out of the West this year, and unless Kawhi decides to come to the West, I think the Lakers have a huge chance. I mean, if Kawhi joins the Lakers, Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Yeah, but
I think even today they said. No max contract, actually. So
I think Kawhi cares more about winning than he does a max contract. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I mean, only selfish people care about money, and we've seen all those people not have any success. James Harden, Melo. So I think people got to. And look, KD took a pay cut. DeMarcus took a pay cut. But you got to do what you got to do to have your chances at winning.
Yeah. And like Harden and Chris Paul having the feud today as well.
I'm on Chris Paul's side. We all know how much of a role model he is to everyone, and how great of a player he is. So I think James Harden is a bit immature and wants the team to himself. Because I mean, look, him failing every year in the playoffs is just making him look worse. I mean, probably better for him just to not make the playoffs and win MVP trophies.
Yeah.
But anything else you want to add? I mean, I don't know what the future of this game is looking like. There's not much communication from the devs or on the Reddit forums.
Well, look, 99s will be like award players, like maybe the candidates.
Yeah, that's the only content I can see coming in the future. Maybe an awards content promo and maybe a draft promo next week, but I think it's hard to get players put into the game so quickly. So I mean, I'm not expecting to see a 99 Zion or RJ Barrett or whatever. So,
well, yeah, that's not going to happen because they're not part of the season that just happened. So
yeah, I know, but I mean, if we're talking about NBA Live Mobile, they're going to have that. 2K is going to have some form of draft promo. So I think hopefully there's something where they bring out the best second round picks and first round picks and number ones, have a good Draymond card, have a good Pascal Siakam card, although he already has one, maybe not. I mean, just have have something cool to carry over the content, because I don't know what's going to happen after the awards in about 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time, isn't it?
I think, on the 24th, actually.
Yeah, I think it has to happen before August, that's for sure. I mean, July. Brain fart.
It's on the 24th. At least it is for us. So it's in like 5 days. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring out. It'll be good content, I think, to end off.
Hopefully, I mean, it's just, I don't know what the direction of the game's looking like.
We'll see what it looks like, but hopefully it goes in a solid direction. I want to say
there's either two directions: focus on Ultimate Team in 20, or continue doing stuff in 19. And I don't know which I'd prefer.
Yeah.
So, if there's anything else you want to add, Ty, jump onto it. You can finish it off this time.
Yeah, one more thing. I mean, it's already been like a week, almost a week. But I'm just glad the Raptors won the championship. Congrats to them. First ever title. Kawhi, now become my second favorite player of all time now. He's just a god. Yeah, he's a god right now.
He is. He's the man. I told you.
I mean, what is he, like the third player in NBA history, I think it is, to win a Finals MVP on two different teams?
Yeah, I think it's Shaq, LeBron, and Kawhi. Oh no, if Shaq didn't win Finals MVP, it was D Wade. Maybe not. I don't know. It's LeBron, Kawhi, and someone else.
Oh, and Kareem. Yes.
That's it. Oh, big boy.
Yeah,
Kareem.
on the Bucks 71 and Lakers in 80.
Lakers and then Magic won it 1 year when Kareem was out. I think when Magic played center, man, what a time in the NBA. I think Kawhi's got a huge future, and look, I really want him to stay in the Raptors. But there's big pressure on him. If he stays there, they'll probably expect another ship.
I mean, he's 27, so what's he got? Like another 10 plus years, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can see the positives. If he stays there, he gets all this crap for free. He's a Hall. I mean, he's already a guaranteed Hall of Famer. Jersey retirement for the Raptors just after one season. I think it's just if he stays, he has to perform. And I think if he goes to another team, he can leave Toronto, done his job, go to another team with really no pressure on him. But if he stays in Toronto, there's a lot of pressure on him.
And I think he's helped two other players in this team maybe become possible Hall of Famers. I mean, I've heard, and you think Marc Gasol's a Hall of Famer, don't you? I think he is. Yeah. And some people saying that Kyle Lowry's resume might make him a Hall of Fame with, like, what is it, like 3-time All-Star maybe? Like, I think it is.
I think he'll be a Hall of Famer regardless. He's been a hugely impactful player on a whole country and a whole franchise.
Yeah, he stayed there. The times through the tough.
I mean, I think I don't know if DeMar DeRozan. I mean, Kyle Lowry might make it over DeMar DeRozan. That man must be not having a good time right now. So I mean, there's a lot of positives coming out of Toronto, and it could be an interesting if Kawhi signs, man. I mean, they have cap space. All their good players barely have big contracts besides Kawhi. I mean, they could probably sign another decent, free agent and just walk over the whole NBA. I mean, that's what I'd do if I was Kawhi. Try and prompt another free agent to come over, and even if it's just a role player, I think it's another guaranteed championship if everyone can stay healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, Kawhi's got a lot to do to recover. He's had some pretty bad injuries in both of his legs. Injuries that are just being a pain in the ass. But yeah, I think there's a lot of prospect in the future for them, and
it's looking up for them right now. 100%. Definitely.
Anything else you want to say?
No. I think everybody just enjoy this promo. One of the last ones. Enjoy their cards. Hopefully they get. 30 challenges to complete. Go complete them. Go get your player. Hopefully, it's a good couple of weeks for you for doing these.
100%.
Yeah. So I think that about ends it off, and yeah, I think we'll see you next time.
Yep. All right, everyone. Peace.
Peace.
If you made it this far, let us know. Comment booty. And
no, don't. No.
Okay.
No.
Don't comment booty. Comment Kawhi not.
Yeah. Yeah. Simple.
Yeah, simple. I mean, it's hard word to spell, but anyways. See you guys next week. Peace.